You know, I'll tell you, when we have guests in the studio, when musicians come in, it's not often that the entire band shows up.
That never happens.
Usually there's one or two, and the rest are sleeping in. But they're all here, OneRepublic, all here together with us in the room this morning. Good morning, Ryan Tedder.
Good morning.
And good morning to Drew.
Good morning.
So you guys are the spokespeople. Are the other three not allowed to talk, or how does that work?
They're still getting their English figured out.
Not big on talking, big on solidarity.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
They seem very supportive in the back. They're here for support.
Yeah.
They are. They're holding up that beam, actually.
So you guys are here. You're going to be playing out in our parking lot. A very elaborate stage setup out there this morning. You'll be doing 2 or 3 songs for CTV's Your Morning. We're going to carry one of them live on here. And we're thankful to have you come in prior to that. You all look very wide awake and ready to go.
Yeah, we managed to get up. I mean, on tour, none of us have really... It's impossible really to fall asleep when a bus is like just hammering over, bad roads. So, it's funny because we got up at 6, I think, and most of the nights on this tour, I can't fall asleep till the bus pulls into wherever we're going, which is usually 6. Mm-hmm. So it's a miracle I actually got any sleep last night.
Yeah. And after you play a gig too, by the time you get back to your hotel room or wherever you're going, it's
so late.
You've got to wind down.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It takes I would say at least 2 hours to kind of calm down. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It takes probably a solid 2 hours, if not longer sometimes. Mm-hmm. And then you're also super hungry. I don't eat before shows, so I'm starving by the time we get off stage. And then if you have friends and family there, it becomes a thing. So it's just, it's always this, going to bed on tour is always a very protracted kind of long affair. It never happens quickly.
So you normally go to bed around the time you got up this morning?
I wouldn't say normally, but I would say I've had way too many nights on this tour where I haven't fallen asleep till 6, and it's simply because of my bus. I'm convinced the frame is not attached to the actual chassis. So I feel every single bump on every road in North America I've felt for 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Do you take a bus everywhere, or you don't fly at all?
We fly too. We do combination of both. Yeah. A few of us have our own buses out on tour, so it's just a lot of stuff. Once you move into your bus and you're on tour for 2 months, it effectively is like your hotel suite, your hotel room, and so it kind of behooves you to use it as much as possible because you're paying a fortune to have it. First of all, and second of all, the kind of back and forth to airplane, hotel, bus, hotel, airplane, it becomes just such a pain.
Is your bus as elaborate as Willie Nelson's?
Well, I don't think there's near as much, let's say, recreational produce on my bus as his, but mine does have a television in the bathroom, which is hilarious because for 5 weeks I've tried every remote on the bus and not one of them has turned it on. And I don't know, it's such a tiny bathroom, I can't even imagine what you could possibly do in the bathroom while watching television. It's like 2 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah. I could think it. Yeah.
Well, Ryan, you've written, we're going to play your new song here in just a sec, but you've written so many songs for other people. Is there one song that you wish you had kept for OneRepublic?
I think Beyonce, I was thinking about this the other day, and Beyonce XO, I did a completely different version of that before. It was her first single on the album before Lemonade, but she dropped at the same time as the Jay-Z song Drunken Love. So it was kind of like one song. Drunken Love cannibalized XO. It was kind of a lesson in don't drop 2 singles at the same time because they're going to fight each other out.
Yeah.
And that song, I was listening to my demo of it the other day, and it's one of the absolute biggest records I've ever been a part of that didn't fully realize how big it could be, partly because of that release, the way they released it. And my demo sounds pretty different from the version that came out, and I kind of had that, for the first time ever, I had this weird pang of guilt. I was like, God, why did I give that song away? Yeah. But if we were to do a song like that, when you write a song for a female artist and you're in a band, you have to change the pronouns and kind of change some of the lyrical architecture.
Will we ever hear that?
I don't know. You know what?
That's what
That might be one of the only songs that, like, if I was able to kind of reimagine the demo, it actually sounds like a record we would do, and it feels huge. I would put that out for sure.
You should release your versions of all the songs that you've written or co-written for other people.
That would be funny.
So
Me singing very high about boys, about men and broken hearts on a lot of records.
Let me ask Drew. Does it ever occur to you that one of the songs that was given away to somebody else you should have kept for yourselves?
It hasn't. This is the first time on this tour that we're right in the middle of that we've ever played somebody else's songs that have been written for them by Ryan, and it's been really cool to hear a reimagined version of Halo. As big of a song as that is, and we actually are all card-carrying Beyonce fans. It's probably one of my favorite parts of our show at the moment and I also get to, like, take a break during it 'cause it's just Ryan and Brent.
That's why you like it.
But 4 minutes off.
Legitimately, it's that's been my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite song, maybe that you've written for other people, is Halo.
All right.
Most of the time when we have people in, they're kind of promoting a full album. Like, a lot of artists are here to promote a full album.
Yeah.
You guys, not too long ago, moved away from that model, maybe temporarily, for releasing music.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to do that?
It's kind of the law of mitigated return. Right now, I'm not saying it won't change. I mean, I love albums. I bought the Arcade Fire full-length vinyl the other day.
It's so good.
Top down. It's super. It's lyrically, it's the best album that's out because it's one of the only artists actually singing about what's happening in the world right now. But obviously, it's not a pop record. It's not going to be commercially kind of saturated. For us, the last album that we did, Oh My, the exhaustive schedule we had promoting just the first 2 singles, like, sent me into a tailspin of not wanting to ever do another album or tour or do anything, and all of us reached a point of breaking and exhaustion. I literally before we didn't even go on tour, and we were gone 235 days of 2016, and that's just promoting an album. So I think that songs now, I also think the way people are digesting music, very few people are listening to entire albums. I mean, it's sad. Older people are, and maybe one day it'll come back. But by the time you get an album out, you spend all this money, all this time, you get it out, 12, 13, 14 songs, you can't get more than 2 singles out anymore. Because when an album hits the streaming world, it's consumed immediately. So you can't 9 months later go, hey guys, here's a 3rd single from OneRepublic coming up. Like, yeah, I know, I've heard it 5 million times on Spotify. I don't need you to play it on the radio. So for us, kind of putting songs out as we see fit that reflect where we're at the moment makes the most sense. And I think we'll probably do something like a mini album, like 7 songs, somewhere around that.
You guys have a busy schedule. I know you got to leave soon. We got to talk about the launch. This is the new CTV show, and you're going to be involved in that, Ryan. You're going to be a mentor. Tell us how that works. How is it different from the other shows?
Well, it's I'm not sure what all I'm allowed to say, but I'll say what I do know. That the thing that piqued my interest on it, A, was getting to spend some more time in Toronto, which is one of my favorite cities in the world. B, it's all these shows, a lot of them, the people that win the most, no matter who wins, the judges are the only people that win. You know what I mean? Like, very few artists break off these shows. And the reason is, you get to the end of a season, you have this crazy talented person who's like 28 years old, they spent their whole life waiting for this moment. They've won the show, and they probably won a little bit of money, right? But they don't have a hit song. They're lucky if they have any songs. Yeah.
There are a few exceptions to that.
There are a few exceptions, and in the U.S. I've been able to work. I've worked with Carrie Underwood and Kelly Clarkson and Leona Lewis. I've worked with some of those exceptions and had hits with them. But the majority of them, unfortunately, a year later after they win, find themselves back where they started, other than a little bit richer. And so the only thing that's missing, or the primary thing that's missing from day one, is the song. Yeah. And so this show starts with actually having a great record first, and tailoring it to the winner. So
as I understand it, then there's going to be 5 people, and they're going to perform a cover song, and then you and Fergie and the other mentors are going to decide which 2 of those 5 should be given the opportunity to sing a brand new song written especially for them.
Yeah.
And whichever one sings it better than the other is the one who will then get the recording contract. And it all happens within a span of 48 hours.
That's correct. It's whoever sells the song the best, who's the most believable. Because that's the thing that nobody talks about with artists. The alchemy, the kind of the magic of having a hit isn't just being on TV a ton and being famous for a minute. Like at the end of the day, you can't put out a B+ record and expect it to be an A+ record.
Right.
And ultimately, music fans and TV viewers in Canada and the U.S. they want great music. So
it's all about launching careers. It's called The Launch. It's a CTV show, and Ryan's going to be one of the mentors on the show. Tell us about your new song, Rich Love.
This is so kind of in keeping with dropping music kind of when we see fit. We stopped putting out songs off our last album back in September. We haven't really put anything out. Now we have a handful of records that we're really excited about. Rich Love was written in January, February. Brent and I did it on guitar, and then a couple of friends of mine from Norway took the song and just reimagined it. And these guys, their name's Sieb. They did Mike Posner, I Took a Pill in Ibiza, Coldplay.
Their production trio?
Production trio. Coldplay, him for the weekend. And then they sent this to me about 2 months ago, out of the blue. I didn't even know they had really done anything with it, and they sent it to me. And I was just kind of blown away. I was like, this feels like summer euphoria. We should put this out. And it became a quick decision, and 48 hours later, we had a release date with streaming and now radio, and here we go.
All right, we're going to listen to it. All the best to you guys. We'll see you out in the parking lot, and we'll be simulcasting one of the songs you're doing as well. We appreciate you all coming in this morning.
Killer. Thank you.
Ryan Tedder, OneRepublic, new song called Rich Love on CHUM FM.
I remember talking and drinking what we could find, burning all those candles and staying up through the night. We make reservations for the places we know we never tried, but then we found some rich love. I remember feeling